Thinking about moving to Boulder County? Before you pack a single box, there are 5 things about living here that catch newcomers completely off guard. Stick around, because number 3 is the one that shapes almost everything else on this list. Hey everybody, I'm Lenny Maiocco, and this is Boulder County Living. If this is your first time on the channel, and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Boulder, Louisville, Lafayette, Longmont, Superior, or anywhere else in Boulder County or Denver, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell so you get notified every time we put out a new video. We hear from people all over the country asking about what it's really like to live here. So if you've got questions, reach out any way you know how. We've got your back with those questions, and we've got your back when it's actually time to make that move. All right, in this video, we're gonna cover 5 things that if you're thinking about relocating to Boulder County, you need to be ready to handle. These aren't the things you'll read on a best places to live list. These are the things that actually change your day-to-day life here. So let's get into it. Number 1, the weather here doesn't change. It can flip completely in a matter of hours. Boulder sits right at the base of the foothills, and that geography sets up something called a Chinook wind, sometimes called a downslope windstorm. Basically, air comes over the continental divide, drops most of the moisture on the western side, and then comes screaming down the front side of the mountains, warming up as it compresses on the way down. What that means for you, it is entirely possible to wake up to single-digit temperatures and finish the afternoon in the 60s. It's awesome. There have been documented swings of 50 to 60 degrees in under 36 hours right here in Boulder County. And it's not just the temperature. These downslope events bring genuinely dangerous weather and wind. The National Weather Service issues high wind warnings here when sustained winds are expected to top 40 miles per hour or gusts over about 60 miles per hour. That happens routinely in the winter and spring. Boulder averages somewhere around 20 to 25 high wind days a year. And in the most extreme events, gusts have topped 100 miles per hour with the all-time record near 147. So what do you actually do with that information? You secure loose patio furniture. You don't park under big cottonwood trees during a wind advisory. You expect the power to flicker or occasionally go out altogether, especially if the utility does a planned safety shutoff during an extreme wind event. And you stop being surprised when it's 8 degrees on your drive to work and 58 by the time you drive home. Locals just call it a typical Boulder day. If you're the type who needs predictable weather to feel settled, this takes some adjusting to. Real quick, before we move on, if you're finding this helpful so far, let me know down in the comments. And go ahead and hit that like button. It generally helps this channel reach more people who are trying to figure out this exact same move. Number 2, Boulder County is home to a real active population of black bears and mountain lions. And this one surprises people who are coming from a more traditional suburban environment. And the county and city governments have written entire ordinances around it. The city of Boulder passed a bear protection ordinance back in 2017 that requires bear-resistant trash and compost containers in certain parts of town. And if your bins are outside overnight anywhere in the city, they need to be bear-resistant, period. Code enforcement actually issues fines for unlatched containers. No warning first. In the neighborhoods west of Broadway, the rules are even stricter. Containers have to be bear-resistant or stored inside a garage or shed at all times. It's not just bears. Mountain lions are part of the natural ecosystem along the whole Front Range. And sightings inside residential neighborhoods happen every year, sometimes literally under someone's porch. They're mostly nocturnal and they tend to avoid people, but Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the city both put out real guidance on what to do if you encounter one. Stay calm, don't run, make yourself look big, and give the animal an escape route. So, before you move here, think through the practical side of this. Can you commit to keeping bird feeders in during bear season? Can you remember to never leave a cooler or dog food in your car overnight? Are you comfortable with your kids knowing what to do if they see a bear at the edge of the yard? This isn't a scare tactic. Most people who live here for years never have a serious encounter. I never have, but it is a real part of life in Boulder County that people moving from a city or even a typical suburb just don't have to think about. Thinking about relocating to the Boulder-Denver area? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it down below. From top employers, the best hospitals, and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is that this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope that helps. And this is the big one, the one that actually explains a lot of the other items on this list. All right, number 3, Boulder made a deliberate decision decades ago to limit how much the city could grow, and the decision still shapes the entire county today. Back in 1959, Boulder passed what's known as the Blue Line, a rule that blocks city water and sewer service from being extended above about 5,750 feet in elevation. The whole point was to keep the mountain backdrop behind the city from ever being developed. Then, in 1967, voters approved what's called the Green Belt, an open space program that has since protected tens of thousands of acres of land in a ring around the city. So Boulder could never sprawl outward and merge into Denver the way a lot of front range suburbs eventually did. On top of that, in 1971, the city capped almost all new construction at 55 feet tall, specifically so the view of the Flatirons would never get blocked by a high rise. Here's why this matters. If you're moving here, all of that protected land is a huge part of why Boulder County looks and feels the way it does. You generally can stand at the edge of town and see open prairie and mountains instead of an endless sea of subdivisions. But that same set of policy also means the supply of new housing is tightly constrained. Permitting and zoning reviews can take a long time, and homes here hold their value in a way that surprises people coming from faster growing metro areas. If you're picturing new construction popping up on every corner the way it might in a Sunbelt city, this is just not how Boulder County works. And it's not going to change anytime soon. It's a trade-off. More open space and a hard boundary around the city in exchange for a tighter, more competitive housing market. Go in with your eyes open on that one. Number 4, before you even worry about snow, the elevation itself is going to affect you. Boulder sits around 5,430 feet above sea level. And if you're coming from anywhere close to sea level, your body generally needs time to adjust. It's common for newcomers to deal with headaches, fatigue, disrupted sleep, and dehydration for the first few weeks. The air here is also just drier, so you'll go through chapstick and a lotion a lot faster than you're used to, and you'll want to drink more water than feels necessary. The sun is the other half of this. At altitude, with thinner atmosphere, UV exposure is noticeably more intense than it is at sea level, even on a cool day. People move here, see it's 60 degrees, and think they don't need sunscreen, and end up sunburned in February. If you're going to be spending time outside here, and you will, that's basically the whole draw of Boulder County. Sunscreen needs to become a genuine daily habit, not just a summer thing. None of this is a reason not to move here. It's just an adjustment period nobody warns you about ahead of time. Give yourself a few weeks to assimilate, hydrate more than feels natural, and keep sunscreen by the front door. Okay, if you're still with me, drop a comment and let me know which one of these 5 has surprised you the most so far. And if this kind of real talk content about Boulder County is useful to you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. Number 5. Boulder is a college town in a very real, very literal sense. The University of Colorado Boulder is right in the middle of the city, and students make up roughly a quarter of the entire population. That has ripple effects across the whole county, not just the city of Boulder itself. On football Saturdays in the fall, Folsom Field fills up with tens of thousands of people, and traffic around campus and the Hill neighborhood gets genuinely gridlocked for hours before and after kickoff. Parking downtown gets tighter, restaurants get busier, and if you live anywhere near campus, you plan your errands around the schedule. At the start and end of every semester, moving trucks and U-Hauls clog the streets near student housings. Rental patterns near campus are built around the academic calendar in a way that's different from most cities this size. It also means Boulder County skews younger and more transient than you might expect looking at real estate listings alone. There's a constant influx of new students, researchers, and young professionals connected to the university and to the research labs nearby, which keeps the energy of the town young. But it also means neighborhoods near campus have a different rhythm than the quieter, more settled areas out in Louisville, Lafayette, or even Superior. If you're picturing a sleepy small town feel everywhere in the county, that's really only true once you get some distance from campus. Right around CU Boulder, it's a lively, loud, occasionally chaotic college environment. And that's worth experiencing in person before you decide exactly which part of the county is the right fit for you. Hey guys, it's Lenny Maiocco. As much as I love making these videos, there is one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the US and the world make the move here to the Boulder-Denver area. I've helped countless families make the move. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is here on the screen and linked in the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to the Boulder-Denver area. All right, let's run back through it. Number 1, you're living alongside bears and mountain lions, and there are actual ordinances around how you manage your trash because of it. Number 2, the weather can flip in a second, quickly, so be prepared. Number 3, Boulder made a deliberate choice decades ago to limit growth with the blue line, the green belt, and a height limit. And that trade-off shapes the housing market to this day. Number 4, the altitude and the intensity of the sun will affect you before your winter does. So give yourself time to adjust and keep the sunscreen handy. And number 5, this is genuinely a college town, and the rhythm of life near CU Boulder moves to the beat of the academic calendar. None of these 5 things are deal breakers. Plenty of people read this list and move here anyway, and love it. But if you go in with your eyes open on all 5, you're gonna have a much smoother transition than someone who shows up and gets blindsided by their first Chinook windstorm or their first bear-proof trash can. That's 5 things you need to know and be ready to handle before you move to Boulder County. Of course, there's more where that came from. This channel exists to cover exactly that. If you got questions about anything else related to moving here, reach out any way you know how. And until the next video, we'll see you later.